The most famous sunflowers in the world, painted by Vincent van Gogh. He created a whole series with this subject, making it one of his trademark motifs.
Van Gogh did a lot of variations on sunflowers in a vase. There isn't just the one painting that's become anchored in our collective consciousness. Rather, Van Gogh described himself as a painter of sunflowers.
A masterpiece seen with fresh perspectives. Quirky ones as well, like these sausage sunflowers by Berlin photographer Carsten Wegener. Sunflowers as a summer dress by British fashion label, and as toast with jam. One of the most famous of Van Gogh's sunflowers is in the Bavarian state capital Munich. In its ground floor galleries, the Neue Pinakothek is displaying the sunflowers Van Gogh painted in 1888. The still life is a highlight of the museum's collection. It's considered one of the Dutch artist's most valuable works.
Everyone likes sunflowers. They're a symbol of summer, of sun, of warmth and light. That's the one aspect, the motif. The other is, of course, the artist himself. Van Gogh is perceived very much through his biography, this dramatic biography which ended in a suicide. All in all, it's a picture that can speak to a lot of people, regardless of any cultural context. That's something we observe here, that the painting is popular with visitors from around the world.
The sunflowers are done simply, but were put on canvas with virtuosity. Color plays a big role in Vincent van Gogh's work. Sometimes he squeezed the oil paints from the tube directly onto the canvas. This lavish application method meant that he could create the relief-like structures that characterize so much of his work.
If you look at the details in the picture, it isn't necessarily what he painted, but how he painted it. The brushstrokes, the brushwork, the colors, the planes that Van Gogh used. And with the painting in Munich, what's especially striking is the contrast Van Gogh tried out between the turquoise background and the yellow sunflowers.
Van Gogh's sunflowers inspire art and even advertising to this day, but the painter himself also became a legend. He apparently took his own life at the age of 37 in 1890. Here, a yarn manufacturer has taken up the sunflower motif. The artist never saw his work get such acclaim. He only became famous after his death. Fashion designers also like to experiment with his sunflowers, such as the creations of fellow Dutchman Matthijs van Bergen. He's been fascinated by Vincent van Gogh and his artwork since he was a child. In 2014, he dedicated his entire winter collection to the painter, which apparently went down well with his customers.
The reaction to the collection was very strong. I especially noticed with clientele that all the colors and the summer feel of the whole collection, though it was a winter collection, which is funny, made people really want to wear it and combine it in the way that I like, that you mix colors and fabrics and the way Vincent van Gogh would do it, you know, not wear one color, but mix all the colors together to make them even more vibrant. I think that's really beautiful.
For that collection, Matthijs van Bergen had his favorite Van Gogh works printed on fabric in the original colors of the paintings. For the 35-year-old designer, the sunflower motif has a special meaning. He sees not just the vitality of life in it, but also its transience.
What I love, for example, about his sunflowers is very much about decay also, you know. They're not the newest sunflowers where they're kind of hanging sometimes, where they've blossomed. And I think that's very beautiful. And I tried to do the same thing, for example, in the skirt with all the layers of pleating, which is inspired by the sunflowers. It's not perfectly finished. It's also unraveling, and it's falling, and it's draping. So I tried to use that in a way.
Vincent van Gogh painted most of his sunflowers in the south of France, where he lived for a while and met new people. For him, the flowers symbolized friendship. He couldn't have known they'd mean so much to people, even now.
We've seen them on T-shirts, we've seen them on cookie jars, we've seen them on the cars, on everything, of course. It's become a product thing. But I think it can be still inspiring because the real painting is inspiring.
The sunflowers are very accessible and easily understood. It's not an artwork that polarizes. Instead, it immediately opens itself to the viewer, and that's surely one of the main reasons why the motif of the sunflowers has become so widely popular.
Vincent van Gogh is what we all love, a tragic hero.